All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am Sarah the Raging Tomato here bringing to you another Moderator Monday live. We're going to be discussing our Chemtrails reel. And with the conversation I had with these fine gentlemen backstage, I know it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a good one. You're going to laugh your ass off all night. So buckle up, sit down, shut up, and listen. Powder Dusty, would you like to kick off with your opening statement, please?
Sure. I've been on a lot of debates here, and I think out of all of the debates I've been on, my opponents here have the stupidest position I've ever seen anyone put themselves in.
Okay, now we're going to go ad hominem, right? Go on. Well, I guess that's not technically ad hominem, but it's shithead anyway. It's insulting people.
I don't know what the two are thinking. Chemtrails, geoengineering, these are things that aren't just established. They've been established for almost a century. So,
all right. So I'll tell you what he's going to do in this debate. He's going to establish the fact that cloud seeding exists, or that I don't know, that like we have extended the monsoon season, for example, in Vietnam, or that we do cloud seeding in Idaho to like provide more water for like the agriculture season or whatever. He's going to take those facts and he's going to claim that that proves that chemtrails are real. Chemtrails being where a plane is releasing chemicals into the atmosphere to like brainwash you or some other shit. He's going to jump to conclusions, like massive jumps to conclusions that don't make any sense at all through this entire thing, I bet. Just watch and see.
I mean, I've got document after document after document from government sources, which I assume both of them are fans of.
Please.
And I guess that's my opening statement. I don't know where they can go from here.
Wow, that was quite the opening statement. Good job, bud. You did such a fantastic job. I'm proud of you.
Fair enough. Benjamin, to you.
Hello, everyone. For those that don't know me, I am Benjamin Balderson, currently on Deliberating Dog-Faced Dudes.
Unfortunately, I do know you now.
And I've been around all over the podcast and speaking world, so by name, I'm easy to find. I would like to thank Sarah Tomato for the kind invite, Flo for partnering, and Craig for accepting. I think this will be a lot of fun. I'm a little surprised to be debating this particular topic in today's world. It's very...
Because it's obvious, right? It's so obvious chemtrails are real. Am I right? God, these people.
This particular topic in today's world. It very much proves a thing gets a dirty label. It is always dirty to the public thereafter. In 2008, China reported using weather modification to control the weather fairly famously.
This is what I'm talking about right here. Nobody said that humanity is incapable of cloud seeding. Everybody knew that from day one. We're claiming that, well, let me rephrase. You are claiming that this is some weather modification thing with the intent to brainwash people with chemicals and to like make people sick or whatever. I guess it depends on like the conspiracy theorist, what they believe. Those are very different things. I don't want to hear about weather modification. If I were in this debate, I don't know what strategy these guys are going to take, but I would probably start off by saying, let's all acknowledge that weather modification, they're capable, that we as a species are capable of doing cloud seeding, and that we do it in, all the time to extend like rainy seasons and things for agricultural purposes. That's not what this debate is about. I would force them to face their claim that people are being brainwashed with chemicals in the atmosphere.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
They reportedly employ 37,000 people nationwide whose sole responsibility is cloud seeding.
Okay, first of all, who's they? You mean the U.S. government, federal government, state governments, who? And second, where did you get this? He says purportedly? Who told you this? I have to wonder.
Even today, in the Beijing Weather Office, That was almost 20 years ago and was worldwide news. I understand you basically have to be a farmer to care about rain, and in today's industrialized worlds,
Oh, please.
farmers are few and far between. Not everyone hears of or knows about companies like Weather Modification Incorporated at the very odd address of www.weathermodification.com. Who would have guessed? Operating out of big old Fargo, North Dakota.
Again, nobody ever claimed that people were incapable of cloud seeding. We've been doing that for decades. That's not the claim.
1992 and was founded in 1961 at their original location in such a tiny area in North Dakota. Nobody even cares. Not everyone knows about organizations like the Weather Modification Association. You'd never guess what their website is. It's a hard one. Oh. Which was organized in 1950. In today's world, though, the Googles is in most people's hands. So this should be easy to fix. Then you could suddenly discover all the planned, ongoing, and failed projects to attempt at controlling the temperature or sunlight atmospherically. Like many patents pulled, many of these are scrapped, but many are tried with some interesting ways proposed. One thing I find interesting is looking at flight numbers during the boogeyman in the air years. I'm pretty sure these guys probably were running around with their masks on.
Oh, please. The boogeyman in the air years. I'm assuming he means like COVID, right? God, these people are so ridiculously insufferable, bro.
As they should be.
Yeah. Then looking at commercial flight numbers during that same time period, the numbers were abysmal, with the commercial industry dropping almost 70% on average. Remember essential workers and all the closed companies and shipping interruptions?
Yep, I do. I do remember that. I can't believe that you don't remember that, apparently. Certainly don't remember it enough to realize like how serious it was, how serious COVID was, and how negatively it affected everybody. Are you shitting me with this? What is wrong with these people, honestly? We were all there. We all saw this. How did you miss it?
I sure as hell do. Private flights fell reportedly 80% on average during that same time period. But oddly, MIT, y'all have heard of MIT?
No, first time. Who the fuck is MIT?
Is that like neonatal MIT? Has been studying trail coverage through satellite imagery, and reportedly during the same time period, there was only a 22.3% in trail reduction, which is fairly head-scratching.
I don't understand what point he's trying to make.
Little bit of a discrepancy. In closing, once again...
Okay. I see what he's saying. So is he telling us that during COVID, when things like shut down and planes stopped flying as much as they were previously, there were fewer contrails? Nobody denied that contrails are real at any point. These people are just detached from reality at this point, right?
For the invite, and I believe this will be an interesting conversation. But in today's world, to pretend that all we see is frozen water crystals and you're a crazy conspiracy theorist for believing otherwise.
He didn't establish otherwise. He didn't establish the idea that it was any more than just contrails, just water vapor.
I'm happy to take the easy win and have a good time.
Thank you, Benjamin. And Craig, to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's episode of That's Not How Planes Work. I'm Craig from FTFE, and I've been summoned here to defend basic atmospheric science from people who think the government is secretly crop dusting humanity with brain fog, infertility, and probably gluten intolerance.
There you go. That's the point. That is what they claim is happening, they being these people on the left. These people on the left claim that they're like brainwashing people and making them infertile because of population control and all kinds of other nonsensical trash. So I have slightly off subject here. I have this Nintendo 3DS, right? And I love a couple of games for this. Specifically, I love playing Zelda: A Link Between Worlds and Metroid Samus Returns. Fantastic games. Oh my God, they're so good. But I can't play them on stream because I have no way to like connect it to the stream and go through the game and everything. But about 3 months ago, I purchased a 3DS with a capture card in it. Somebody is like custom making it. Basically, they sourced a capture card from Katsu Kitty, I think. They sourced a 3DS from Japan, I believe, installed it, and it's out for delivery right now. I'm so super excited. Hell, maybe tomorrow we'll play some 3DS games. That would be awesome, I think. Anyway, back to the debate. Or not.
Now let's get something straight. Those white lines in the sky, they're not chemicals, they're not mind control, they're not some part of global eugenics plot. They're called contrails, which is short for condensation trails, and they've existed literally since airplanes flew high enough to hit cold, moist air, like in World War II. There are photographs of them and videos in the 1940s, but sure, Jan, tell me how you figured out the plot from your couch using a YouTube video and your gut feelings. Let me just address the most deliciously ironic part of this whole chemtrail conspiracy.
Dude, this guy just fucking destroyed this guy. I love that. That's awesome.
The powers that be really are spraying us with mystery toxins, then they live here too. They breathe the same air, drink the same water, and probably have to walk past Karen on Facebook ranting about the lines just like the rest of us.
There you go.
Apparently, the elites are smart enough to build a global secret spraying operation, but too stupid to install an air filter in their homes. I mean, come on, what kind of Bond villain forgets to wear a gas mask? Look, we've got actual data, atmospheric models, and a century of aviation science that explains exactly why contrails form. It's not a mystery, it is physics. But tonight, my opponent's going to ignore all that and hit us with, well, I feel like it's poison because feelings are the new evidence, apparently.
I mean,
let's just quickly attack one of the things that they said. The difference.
Dude, did he just interrupt the debate with some stupid fucking...
My opponent's going to ignore all that and hit us with, well, I feel like it's poison because feelings are the new evidence, apparently.
I mean,
let's just...
Yeah, he did. He is jumping in and being fucking rude in the middle of... I mean, these guys let them spout off stupid fucking nonsense for like 5 minutes straight. And the other side can't be mature enough to like take turns. I mean, are they like in 3rd grade? Did they pass 3rd grade? Because I'm pretty sure I learned about taking turns around 3rd grade. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Attack. One of the things that they said, the difference between chemtrails and geoengineering. Chemtrails, aka sky nonsense. What is it? Supposedly a completely debunked conspiracy theory claiming the government, airlines, or the global elites are secretly spraying the population with toxic chemicals from planes for mind control, population reduction, weather control, or insert whatever flavor of paranoia is. What it actually is, they are contrails, condensation trails, literally just water vapor and sometimes soot from jet engine exhaust freezing in an upper atmosphere. Like seeing your breath the whole day if you're...
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's a good enough. I'm not going to try to add to his comparison. I think that's a good comparison. I just got a super chat, or a membership message. 2 whole years. Now the big question is the software modded on the 3DS too. Yes, it is. I actually got one for my sister-in-law like a couple years ago from this exact like person that does this. And it was really, really well done. It was fantastic. And they had basically the modder has their own custom software that like interacts with a Raspberry Pi. It's called Delfino Customs. And the person that does it is a streamer and they're really cool. James something or other. I don't remember their name, but anyway, really nice people. He knows what he's doing. And I cannot wait to receive it. He installed the custom software, the capture card. I have a Raspberry Pi, an older one around here that I'm going to use to connect it. So it's going to take some time and effort to actually connect it up to my systems, but I will be connecting it to everything, and that'll be awesome.
Mouth could move at 600 miles per hour at 35,000 feet. Evidence supporting it is as much as Flat Earth has supporting that. Not one shred of credible scientific proof, just zoomed in photos of planes, fuel tanks, misidentified ballast barrels used in flight testing, and dodgy YouTube videos narrated by blokes who think fluoride is a tranquilizer.
Exactly, dude. Oh my God, this guy's hitting the nail on the head. I have to imagine, though, that the people on the other side who believe the chemtrail bullshit probably thought the exact same thing when the other dudes were talking. Wow, these idiots are hitting it on the head, huh?
Engineering, actual science. What is it? A legitimate field of climate science looking at possible ways to counteract climate change. It's mostly theoretical or in small scale experimental phases. Think of it as humanity saying, what if things get so bad we have to start hacking the planet to save ourselves? Types include...
Yeah, you know, we're kind of almost there, honestly.
Radiation management and carbon dioxide removal. Is anything being sprayed from planes right now? No. There are no active large-scale geoengineer programs and certainly nothing being sprayed secretly over cities. There have been theoretical papers and very limited...
You know what? Am I misinformed on this? Let me find out. Is Idaho doing... What would I even search for? Hold on. Cloud seeding. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they engage in cloud seeding. It appears that it's just in cloud seeding, and that's it. According to the Idaho Department of Water Resources, they do cloud seeding, yes. But that's not chemtrails. That's not it's not the same, not even close.
Goes into stratosphere to see how they disperse, but it's public, peer-reviewed, and very, very cautious. Evidence supporting it is real research, academic journals, climate modeling, international ethics panels, and transparency, because everything the chemtrail crowd hates is right there. Too long didn't read is chemtrails are nonsense, geoengineer is real. But chemtrail believers love to hijack the concept of geoengineering to say, see, they admit it, but it's like pointing at a weather balloon and screaming aliens. You want the truth?
There you
Chemtrails
go.
are a myth, geoengineering is real science, and conflating the two.
Bring those goalposts.
There you go. That's it. That's exactly right. That's what I would have done in this debate. He's hitting the nail on the head here for sure. Don't let them get away with this ridiculous nonsense about conflating geoengineering or like conflating chemtrails, releasing chemicals into the atmosphere. Don't let them conflate that with like just general cloud seeding.
Scale the science class taught by a goldfish. Now let me say that again, but angrier and with a South Mead accent.
Now, what was it this guy said when he interrupted the debate again just now? She should mute them, in my opinion.
Chemtrails are a myth, geoengineering is real science, and conflating the two.
Bring those goalposts back here.
Scale the science class taught by a goldfish. Now let me say that again, but angrier and with a South Mead accent. Say the word. Over to you, Toon.
All right, and MC wants to bring up. There we go.
All right, thank you, Craig. So the title is "Are Chemtrails Real?" So what are chemtrails? Well, I'll tell you what they're not. They're not cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is to take an existing cloud. So the lines in the sky aren't existing clouds. To take an existing cloud and cause it to precipitate. They use silver oxide, dry ice, calcium chloride, liquefied propane, or other things. The photograph there is a photograph of a torches, like they start fire on there, and that puts junk into the air, and the particles then cause the rain to fall from the existing clouds.
Problem is that these people are taking something that everybody knows and that is not secret, and they're adding to it in like ridiculous conspiratorial ways. It's not even exaggerating. It's full on lying about it and twisting it out of proportion completely.
Chemtrails are not things like Agent Orange, radioactive tracer tests. These are real things we know about. They are not other documented legit or less legit programs that are also known about.
Yeah, Agent Orange is just them dropping powder from the sky, right? My dad was in the Air Force, and his job was to clean out airplanes that had Agent Orange in them and like clean like dead bodies out of them and shit. And he got a whole bunch of medical problems from being exposed to Agent Orange like that. I think it's a war crime now to use Agent Orange, and it should have been then. It's like chemical warfare. Really, really ugly shit. As soon as it touches as soon as it touches a tree's branches or leaves or whatever, they instantly turn brown and just fall off. I mean, it's really fucking wild. That's why people call Trump Agent Orange. I like that name for him. Anyway, that's just dropping powder from a plane onto a jungle to clear it. That's not the same by any stretch of the imagination as releasing like chemicals to brainwash people or make them infertile or whatever. It's just nonsense.
Chemtrails are not these ballast tanks that are used to test whether or not an airplane can handle the mass of a full plane with people and luggage. And it's not dumping fuel to reduce weight for an unplanned landing. Chemtrails, your claim, the word chemtrail, is this stuff. This is what is the claim. This is the topic of today's debate, not geoengineering, things that we know about. The lines in the sky behind passenger planes, the passenger planes that you can look up using any of a number of apps to see the flight number. And you can even get on these planes yourself. Now, what is the content of a contrail? A real contrail is because a passenger jet burns fuel. It's mostly kerosene. Jet A1 is the name of it, and it's highly refined kerosene. It's very pure. It has carbon numbers between 8 and 16 typically. There's a list of the different chemical compounds. And then there's also, because it's impurities in there, they can't have it be perfect. A little bit of water, that's the biggest impurity. And then they have other additives like a static dissipator so that, you don't get sparks and then explosions. Things for de-icing, things to prevent corrosion and lubrication.
And above all else, they are not dissipating through the atmosphere with the intent to affect every human being over an entire region. That is ridiculous nonsense.
So here is the general formula for burning kerosene. There's the top one.
God, this dude cannot be polite to save his own fucking life, can he?
I'm sorry that interruption was it wasn't English, but so there on the top is the general purpose chemical formula for any of those there to burn. The bottom one specifically for C12 I chose because it's right about in the middle, C12H24 plus 18 O2s, 18 oxygen pairs, gives you 12 CO2s and 12 water molecules. That's what happens when you burn it. You get carbon dioxide and water.
Super fascinating, man. I really like chemistry a lot. I went to college for chemistry to be a synthetic chemist at one point, but I ended up going for psychology instead. Ultimately, I changed my major. Anyway, while I was doing the chemistry stuff, I learned about all of this stuff. It's really, really fascinating, I think.
You deserve a wedgie.
You know what's the most fascinating about this to me? The fact that we're capable of figuring out the chemical structure of things. Like, how do we know that water is 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen? How do we know what the shape is? There's a whole underlying thing to figure this shit out in chemistry that absolutely fascinates the hell out of me, that you can look up on your own. I'm not going to go through it right now, but it's really interesting anyway. It involves like measuring the weights of different things. And once we've established certain like atom weights, we can base our assumptions off of that and stuff.
Why would it why would you see a contrail or not see a contrail? Well, the difference is the dew point. The dew point is a temperature. So the combination of humidity, air pressure, and humidity, oh my goodness, temperature. Anyway, it determines if the water vapor will stay gaseous or if it will condense. That's the dew point. The temperature, the water vapor will condense. So if you have lower air pressure, you have a lower dew point. If you have lower humidity, you have a lower dew point. So contrails are less likely over Nevada. You will not find very many pictures taken from Las Vegas of contrails. And
that's super fascinating, right? This is such an interesting scientific subject, and these poor fools cannot help themselves but to lie about it non-stop. It is so sad. And it's like, you know, there used to be these conspiracy nuts. They were not always Republicans. They were not always associated with it. Alex Jones wasn't, I mean, he was always conservative, but he wasn't always like a diehard, you know, full on Trump supporter, no matter what type of person. Used to be, long time ago. If somebody said you're listening to Alex Jones, it was like, I'm listening to him talk about aliens and shit. But the conspiracy worlds merged with the Republican world when Donald Trump took over with the MAGA movement. And there is basically no difference at this point. Like, your chances of believing in chemtrails as a MAGA nutcase are dramatically, exponentially higher than they were before.
You'll see them more likely over the East Coast, where you have lots of humid air because it's near the ocean, and it's cooler, especially farther north. That's where you will see more contrails. Plus, that's where more people live. There we go. That's all I got.
All right,
No, I got one more. I'm sorry, one more. So the burden to you guys is the empirical analysis of the contents of the chemtrails, as you claim. Maybe you could sample them. You could do some spectroscopy with or without a container. You could use LiDAR or satellite imagery. And then you need, this is going to be the really tough one. You need to document the delivery methods on these passenger planes.
And you know what? Why is it that we haven't had a single whistleblower, not one whistleblower, come out and reveal this shit? Like with Donald Trump, we had all kinds of like whistleblowing and all kinds of like information about what Trump was up to, all the fucked up stuff, you know, preventing, what do you call it? Like preventing Ukraine from receiving the aid that had been like given to them by Congress or promised to them by Congress or whatever. There was not like, we all knew what he was up to. There is no way to hide secrets this big from people. There just isn't. But not one single whistleblower, really. Not one.
Where's the application hardware installed in the plane? What is the maintenance procedure? Certainly the people that are maintaining these things need to have documentation for what to do.
We need all that shit to prove chemtrails.
Dude, shut up.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. They need to mute him now. It's time to mute him.
And then, so then there's mechanics. And so maybe you want to maybe have some mechanics that are like, yep, here's where this goes through, right? All of these things need maintenance. You can't just hope that they happen. They need to be maintained like everything else in the plane. So, and then the final thing you have to have the motivation. It's been going on for decades. What is the purpose? Because you wouldn't go to all the trouble without a reason. And then the decision makers, as Greg said, they're affected by the same stuff as everyone else. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I said I didn't have any questions ever.
Well,
To speak twice every time.
does what?
Craig get to speak twice every time.
You guys, you're calling them both Craig, right?
Well, just because he has two cameras.
You muted me.
He's two people.
Yes, I did, because you wouldn't stop interrupting. You know better than to interrupt opening and
Good. That is a good moderator to mute him like that. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
closing
So,
statements.
Craig's.
Before you get started, I wanted to send a big kind reminder to everyone. I believe all of the gentlemen are dual streaming as well. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and share on all of their ends, just as well as mine. And I am excited. We hit the big 7K last night.
Oh
so
my God.
just a big shout out to all of the maters.
Fantastic. Jumping forward. Don't care.
Streaks in the sky, and I think some.
Open.
Hey, that
So-
Ray Charles, that
You
document
guys-
you just sent, yeah. Let me just read one little bit from it. It says, "What if I see streaks in the sky and I think somebody is modifying the weather?" And then the document you
didn't-
sent says,
You didn't scroll
"These
down
are
to the bottom.
contrails produced by
Right.
planes. Contrails are the condensated products of combustion and vapor generated by airplanes
scroll down to
traveling
the
at higher
bottom where
altitudes
it's-
while the atmosphere is
where it's-
colder.
yeah.
These have been prominent atmospheric features since the beginning of jet plane travel."
Sure.
So thank you for
And
sending
then,
a
but then down at the
document
bottom,
that
what is
crazy
that? That's
conspiracy theory.
109
Do you have impulse
pages?
control issues?
There's 109 pages below that at the bottom of public records of them actually spraying chemicals into the air to modify the weather. So
God, it's such complete fucking bullshit all the way down with these people. There is no self-awareness. There's no logic to be had. It's just sad.
and
Yeah,
it makes
but
sense that they would
nothing
tell you
says
out of
the
one side of
jet
their mouth that
planes
it's just condensation, and
Yeah,
then Also,
Okay.
Yeah, we don't disagree that geoengineering projects exist. The claim about
they're not
chemtrails
like-
is that it's the ones behind.
Gentlemen, I'm going to make a kind reminder that we're not going to interrupt each other because all of the audience only hears
Yeah, she's got a point.
all of you. So please be mindful of your speaking time. Let's go one at a time. And if we can't do that, I'll make you raise your hands. Okay.
If I could have the floor, that's okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, Ray Charles, we are very aware that geoengineering is a thing, as Toon and I both pointed out in our
Dude's name is Ray Charles. Don't see nothing or can't see nothing. Ray Charles can't see nothing. Awesome.
intros. That is not the same thing as the lines.
Oh, there he goes again. He can't fucking help himself but to talk over people.
And I both pointed out in our intros. That is not the same thing as the lines.
The definition.
Now, I do apologize that the middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning of yours. That is terribly rude of me.
Didn't your intro include a definition of chemtrail or of chemtrails that included
maybe I could
weather
finish the thing I was saying. Is that okay?
Maybe it was
Is that okay if I finish what I'm saying before you start talking?
I'll allow it, but I can't guarantee you'll get to go on forever. Go ahead.
Okay, so once again,
Jesus Christ, dude. This guy is insufferable. Why are all of these people complete fucking shitheads every single time?
find the difference between geoengineering and chemtrails. And to be very, very clear, those things behind passenger jets are not chemtrails. That is the subject of this debate.
Oh, man, you guys keep refining it. You take away the goalposts, so it can't be weather modification. It can't be passenger
said, this is chemtrails, and he redefined chemtrails with his own definition.
Bro, are you serious right now? I mean, you guys are catching what's happening, right? You're picking up what he's putting down, catching what he's throwing. He's pissed off that he's pissed off that we are defining chemtrails as what it actually is. Which is him claiming that chemicals are coming down to planet Earth to fucking brainwash people and make them infertile and all this other shit. It's nonsense.
So, and also, I don't know if I'm supposed to, the other picture of Craig, if I'm supposed to address that as that weird other thing. I don't know what the hell is going on with this.
Craig 1 and Craig 2?
Yeah, like is it Craig 1, Craig 2, or this? Because the one has a 2 on it. I think
they came out of
it's Craig A and Craig 1.
They came into the same deep underground base as
let me interrupt just for an audio thing. Flo, I think you're still running off the different mic or something because it's coming in like it's coming in from your laptop. Okay, Benjamin, go ahead.
So this second Craig 2 something, he is also then not only making up his own definition of chemtrails and making us try to...
See, this is why you define things ahead of time. This is why you talk about definitions ahead of time. What's wrong with them seeding clouds is the question. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with them extending the rainy season or whatever. The reason that anybody would have a problem with them doing that is because they think they're putting secret chemicals in it to brainwash people and shit. So this is, whether he likes it or not, about them trying to brainwash people with, like, chemicals in the air, which is just not happening. And they point that out, and he complains about the definitions. Again, these people cannot have an honest debate. They cannot figure out how to do anything in an honest way, can they? They look white trash, TBH. Oh, yeah, 100%. They do. They look like white trash. They certainly are. White trash is not class prejudice. Somebody says no class prejudice. White trash is not class prejudice. White trash is just being a fucking scumbag. Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit is white trash. Like, just disgusting, fucking vile piece of shit that just a douchebag, you know? That is what white trash is. Not necessarily anything to do with class. Anyway, typical of Chemtrail. I'm sorry. That's typical of chemtrailers, flirts, and assorted woonatics. Yeah, that's true. They always want to twist it into something that it's not because they cannot win on the merits, and they know that they can't win on the merits. They know that this shit is not happening, so they have to expand the definitions out to be something that they're not to win anything.
and his definition, which chemtrails is anything that's not a contrail, which is water vapor in the sky. Oh, yeah.
No, it isn't. Why would you care if they're trying to extend the rainy season or this like the snowy season for agricultural purposes? Why does that matter to you at all? He only cares about this issue because he thinks that the chemicals are like brainwashing people or making them infertile or whatever the fuck. These people are just so full of shit. Every word out of their mouths.
Believe in some chemtrails, but we've decided we're not going to fight you on those. So really, you already admitted we win. But then you said,
"Oh my god, dude."
You said we're making the positive claim. Now the funny thing is I didn't hear the flow state, and I certainly didn't claim any. I knew what any trail was at all. But in your total opening statement, and I'm talking about part 2 of it, I guess is what I should call it instead of part 1, since you got 2 parts of an opening.
Oh please, he's such a whiny bitch. Why do people like this always end up being whiny bitches?
In the second part, you dedicated quite a bit of your time to the chemical composition, which actually Flo even interrupted and made a laugh about it, and then you made a comment about how that wasn't even English, as you were making a very positive claim about knowing exactly what these trails are. And all Flo and I did was say, hey, look, there's open companies saying, look, we spray other shit besides water vapor.
Hold on now. What's he talking about? Companies claiming that they spray other things other than water vapor? Are you talking about cloud seeding? Is that what he's referring to? They're not spraying shit to brainwash people or whatever. My God.
I don't know how their planes work. I don't own one of those companies. So you expect me to make a positive claim because you've said that doesn't work out. Now you want me to make a positive claim.
No, he is making a positive claim. His positive claim is that companies or the government or whatever are spraying chemicals in the air to brainwash people. That's the claim that he makes. He can pretend he's not all he fucking wants, but it's not true.
How all this shit works when all I got to do is say, hey, there's a company doing it. I don't have to work for them.
You can say there's a company doing it, but you have to define what it is precisely. And when you do that, in that process of defining what you think these companies are doing, that is your positive claim. He doesn't understand the burden of proof. He doesn't understand what it is or how it works or anything at all. He has no place to take part in a debate without understanding the very basics of what he's talking about. Not that I think he shouldn't. He's more than welcome to. It's just dumb as dog shit. It's just a colossal waste of fucking time because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about on a basic level.
And you also have to have flown a plane, done maintenance on a plane, built a plane.
No, I didn't say that at all.
Toon, quick question. How many times did we interrupt them while they were talking there?
We didn't, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, right, we didn't. Right, just to double check, yeah.
Yeah, don't be a shithead is the point, please. Jesus.
So to be clear, both Toon and I pointed out how geoengineering is a real thing and no one with a brain denies
Are
it.
those chemicals?
I got like one sentence in.
Yeah,
Please
let him
give me the
finish,
respect of
Flo.
letting me finish my thought.
Again, his claim is that that they're sending chemicals into the atmosphere to like make people infertile and brainwash them and shit. So yes, they are some type of chemical compound in a very, very broad sense, in the same way that we are a chemical compound designed to extend the rainy season, but not to brainwash people. Jesus Christ, dude. These people cannot be intellectually honest to save their own lives, honestly.
Once again, nobody is denying the existence of geoengineering projects with chemicals, but the subject of this debate is chemtrails, and chemtrails are very well known as those things behind passenger planes. That is the subject of this debate. If you have evidence that the government is doing some secret shady stuff by spraying things and not telling people, that is the subject of this debate.
No.
If you're just going to agree with us that geoengineering is a thing and is different from contrails, then you should have stayed in your mum's basement instead of joining us today.
So nobody ever has said that it's passenger planes, which is why you're including that caveat, I assume,
Incorrect.
because this is not the pattern of passenger planes.
Those are
right?
passenger planes right there.
No, this is passenger planes.
Yep.
Yes.
God damn, I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, try debunking it. Maybe start there.
Okay.
You don't think you don't?
I easily said, and I didn't ever interrupt you, gentlemen. I was on mute even, so my animals wouldn't make noise. So you group into
Could I just quickly share the screen, please?
No, Craig.
There you go. There goes your halo.
Craig.
Sure.
Could I please share the screen if that's okay?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Let me choose the right screen. This one here.
As in my opening.
Yeah. So, is it sharing there?
My goodness.
Right.
My goodness.
So,
Greg is interrupted.
Just
All right,
one sec,
go
guys,
ahead,
if you
Craig.
could-
See, this is what happens when you talk over people. You can't understand a fucking word anybody is saying, even you. This is why you don't talk over people in YouTube debates specifically, or Twitch debates, or whatever. Broadcast debates. You don't interrupt, because it just becomes garbled nonsense.
Craig.
Thank you, guys.
You know, like in person, you can kind of tune out the other guy and listen to what the first dude is saying. You can't really do that in broadcast debates in the same way. It's just nonsense.
I've just literally Googled definition of chemtrails, and I'm going to read what it says here. A visible trail left in the sky by an aircraft and believed by some to consist of chemical or biological agents released as part of a covert operation rather than the condensed water of a vapor trail.
Yeah, this is what they should have done from the start. They should have defined chemtrails.
Be very clear, that is the subject of this debate. Please.
Oh, and turn frogs gay. Can't forget that. Yeah. Turning the friggin' frogs gay is what chemtrails are doing, 100%.
To it.
Is it a chemical released by an airplane?
It's irrelevant. They are dead set on proving that chemtrails are real in the most underhanded, dipshit way.
Please stick to the subject of this debate.
Bring it back up on screen.
We're defining a chemtrail. Chemtrail.
Well, Craig, you got to bring it back up on screen. He has a
Could you just put that back up?
short-term memory loss there.
This is proof that he cannot defend his own position when he's playing semantic games and denying his position in the first fucking place. Didn't he come on this debate to claim that the government is spraying chemicals to brainwash people? Isn't that the point? Own your position.
This is an ortho tag.
What I'll do is I'll highlight it for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll highlight it for you. With
That's
this
very
help.
kind of you. Can you make it bigger?
Might be-
Can you zoom in for him?
Water.
Yeah, I can. If I just zoom in, that's not hard enough. Now make it bigger. That's
you.
better. Maybe
There
they
we
struggle to read.
go.
A little
That's
further,
what she
a little
said.
more. A little more.
A little more.
She says that's what she said. I love it.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Maybe Toon, if you read
Too
it.
far.
I'll read it. All right,
I don't like
I can
it like
read it.
this. Back it out.
A visible trail left in the sky by an aircraft and believed by some to consist of chemical or biological agents resulting are released as part of a covert operation rather than the condensed water of a vapor trail, which is what I exactly covered in my intro.
Yeah. So do you have evidence of that happening? And then we can discuss the topic of this debate.
I do
Or
have
you can
evidence.
keep trying because your mother hasn't brought you your Pop Tarts today.
So first of all, let's make it perfectly clear that you have lost this debate from the get-go.
Oh my God, dude. He can't. God, it's so dirty and like sleazy, you know? He cannot be honest about anything. He cannot honestly represent his own position because even he knows it's dumb as dog shit. No, you know what it is really? He knows that he doesn't have any proof at all, any evidence whatsoever, not even a little bit, to prove his position, which is that the government is brainwashing people with chemicals. He cannot prove that, and he gets bent out of shape when people point that out. That's what's really happening here.
When your opening statement says chemtrails don't include geoengineering,
Are you
chemicals.
done with the screen, Craig?
No,
Yes,
leave
yes,
it, no, I'd leave it up.
That's an immediate
They're
concession
confused by it.
and then trying to move the goalposts over. So I'm not allowing that.
This is why you lay out your definitions ahead of time. They really should have laid out their definitions ahead of time. The guy came here to debate chemtrails. And when he got here, he refused to debate chemtrails and decided to debate whether the government does cloud seeding. Nobody ever denied that. Why the fuck are you even here?
But I can move on to the next one as long as we establish that.
No, you know what? I think I have a good thing.
I
have a good thing of clarification here.
I'm not conceding the first one.
Gentlemen.
She's got such a calming voice.
And if I have to mom you through this whole conversation, we're not going to get anywhere. So chill out. All right. We'll all get our little talking stick and we can all take turns. All right. One at a time. Go ahead, MC.
All right. So to clarify then, so that we can have some agreement on this, it seems to me that they are not making any claims about what is behind passenger jets, and their only thing is talking about the geoengineering projects, not about what's behind passenger planes.
Correct. We're not following that weird little
Oh my God, dude, he can't shut his fucking mouth to save his own life.
Hold on a second. I wasn't done. Greg and I
cleared it up for you.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
You seriously,
Flo,
you're just
get a piece of paper
you're just a
and
little
pencil,
child.
And before you feel the need to
I'm your
talk,
daddy.
write it down
Take some
instead.
notes. Take some
Okay.
notes. All right. So Craig and I and you, all four of us, are in agreement that geoengineering projects exist and that airplanes spray things like silver oxide to seed clouds.
Okay.
All four of us are in 100% agreement on that. If that is your only claim, is that those things exist, and Craig and I are in complete agreement with this, we can end the debate right now.
Question: is silver oxide and
You
aluminum?
mean you can concede the debate right now?
Are they? Are those toxic substances that they spray to in order for the geoengineering?
All right, wait, you didn't.
Toxic? God, he is doing everything he can to twist this around.
Question:
And
Is that the only thing that you're claiming that chemtrails are?
And actually, that wasn't even the first thing that they tried for cloud seeding. It was actually CO2 pellets and numerous other things.
Yeah, dry
Let's
ice
not
was
even
in my
talk
intro.
about the Tuskegee experiment, where things like that, where they've sprayed it. Lots of things.
But
Awesome.
I don't know.
All of these things we agree with. Yep.
Okay.
All of these we agree with.
And
Are these toxic?
Pardon me. Go ahead,
Right.
Benjamin.
Craig, and this is weird because Craig, on your second name, you didn't put CM2, you put MC. I don't understand why you got that a little mixed up. Now
I don't get it. What's the joke? CM2?
once I put my glasses on, I noticed that's where I was having a problem. And yeah, so, but there's been
I feel like he overplayed the joke that nobody even fucking got.
Your glasses on so you can't see them.
So
because
if I can answer Claude's question.
was that silver iodide that they sprayed in the Tuskegee experiment?
Yeah. So if I can answer what the question that Powder posed, which is silver iodine toxic? Well, to answer that, I'm going to pose you a question: is water toxic?
The answer is yes, in certain amounts. Everything is toxic in certain amounts, obviously.
No.
Yes, it is. Water.
I understand what you're doing here.
If you ingest too much water, it can be toxic to your body.
If you ingest too much of anything, it can kill you.
Is
right.
toxic.
So
There you go. You got it. You ingest too much of anything, it'll kill you.
if there is too much of it.
is you're obscuring what toxic means to the point where nothing is toxic now, or everything is toxic. You're
Toxic is a
completely
relative
obliterating
thing.
the meaning of the question.
Toxic is a
even though it's
relative
perfectly
thing.
Clear.
Yeah,
This is what fucking losers do. They have to manipulate language.
I know you're angry that you didn't get
Losers
Let me
have to
be clear you.
manipulate language.
Like, they're talking over each other now, obviously. So I'll just say what the other dude is saying. Toxic is a relative value. Some things are toxic at certain levels. Is weed toxic? Absolutely. In the amounts that people consume it? Absolutely not. You'd have to smoke your body weight in weed to die from it. Water will kill you if you have too much of it. And not enough salt, for example. That's why Gatorade exists. The level of the chemical, the amount of the chemical that's being used to seed clouds is nowhere near enough to hurt anybody. And also, what would it mean exactly to hurt you with that chemical? He claims it's for brainwashing purposes. It's nonsense.
Toxic is a relative thing and is dependent on a bunch of variables. Now, is silver iodine toxic to us? Yes, in large quantities. Is it toxic to us in the amount that they spray into the atmosphere? Absolutely not.
Is it toxic to the bees?
Yeah. That's what the fucking the little thalidomide or however that shit was pronounced, babies and all
In
kinds
large
of people.
quantities, yes, it is toxic to the bees, but not in the quantities that they sprayed into the sky.
which is being used to seed clouds again.
Okay.
If you have evidence otherwise, this is the thing. If you have evidence that the geoengineering projects that have taken place have been damaging to any kind of life forms, then please present that evidence.
Yeah, you have the burden of that
evidence that it is still going on. Because the point of this debate is that the government are doing something secret and shady and trying to do something crazy to kill us or something. And then you are trying to change the topic of debate from what is the known definition of chemtrails.
You're trying to make it so that we have to prove somebody's intention.
Your definition, where you tried to pin it on us, it said some believe. That it didn't say all. And so I fully fit in the definition of.
Wait, what the fuck is he saying?
Your definition, where you tried to pin it on us, it said some believe. That it didn't say all. And so I fully fit in the definition of it because I don't believe that second part. It said
okay, well, you can leave that.
You know what?
That's what this debate is about.
I think this is a good chance.
Everybody.
Tried to pin what on us? Is he saying tried to pin like the burden of proof on them? I mean, that's how burdens of proof work, right? Didn't they establish this before the debate started? Seems like the kind of shit that you should have established a long time ago, right?